Good evening, Americans. This is your favorite alien here on the evening of Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. And today's commentary is a comparison of the crisis of the 21st and 3rd centuries. And you Americans are probably saying, what the hell is he talking about? Because none of you remember, what do you mean the crisis of the 21st century, and let alone the 3rd century? What? There was no crisis in the 3rd century? Oh boy. Like I've been telling you before, Americans with your watermelon heads, and it's driving me crazy because I'm talking to you and you're not listening. Because you don't care about your own country. And that is embarrassing that you don't care about your own country. That drives me nuts to hear you guys not care about your own country and to have people in CNN, Fox, and other national news talk the way they do and give you false information on your country. The crisis of the 21st is the same as the crisis that happened on the 3rd century. The crisis of the 3rd century started in AD 235 and it ran through AD 284. Okay, Americans? And it was the total and near collapse of the Roman Empire. Just like you have the total and near collapse of the United States starting out. And it started crazy enough in 235 AD when the emperor at the time, Alexander, was killed by his own troops because, he wasn't big enough and everything was getting out of control. They didn't serve anything, and that left the next 49 years a disaster for the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was getting attacked from outside and destroyed from the inside. Emperors came, emperors went. And people had the value of Donald J. Trump. Okay? What happened was the stability of what the Roman Empire was just collapsed. The money was not there. There was no such thing as, oh, well, the dollar's worth this amount. No, it wasn't worth that. In the Roman times, Rome's political, economic, and social situation just crumbled all at the same time. For these almost 50 years, 49 years, okay? And it came to a head in AD 69. The emperor at the time was a short emperor in terms of like the other emperors before and after him for a little bit. Only lasted 1-2 years, maybe 3, but if you lasted 5, you were lucky. And most of them didn't last 2. Oh, you should see the number of emperors that came in there. And the usurpers, too. Like in the case of the Americans here in the crisis of the 21st century, Donald J. Trump was a usurper. Okay? But like I said, in AD 269, the emperor was Claudius II. Okay? Otherwise known as Claudius the Gothicer. And the reason why he's called the Gothicker is he stopped the Goths for at least another 180 some years from actually taking over the Roman Empire. But at the time, there was no such thing as a Roman Empire. There was the Gallic Empire, which was composed of the breakaway provinces of Britain, Gaul, and what you call today the Low Countries. Okay, that's the Gallic Empire. It lasted for about 49 years. And then you had the, I can't pronounce that word, Palestine Empire, which was composed of the provinces of Palestine, Syria, and today's Turkey. A little bit of it was composed that, and that it broke away from the Roman Empire. And then you had the Italian Roman Empire. And for a short time, Hispania, which was Spain, the Portugal and Spain today, they broke off too, but they came back, or were forced back by Emperor Aurelius. Okay? But Emperor Claudius II, he stopped the outside invasions of the Goths, Vandals, and other things. Then he proceeded to go after the breakaway empires. He conquered the breakaway Palestine Empire in Syria, got those back. But he died in 270 AD. It would take another 14 years before Diocletian came back and reunited the Gallic Empire back into the fold. Then you had the Roman Empire, to a certain extent, what it was. And Diocletian, 284 to 306, set up a new way of doing business, which kept the empire alive for another 150 years. But it was in his deathbeds anyway, okay? Because the empire collapsed for a lot of different reasons. Politically, the empire was getting overrun on the inside with different people that was coming in, just like the United States is getting overrun by the southern border. Well, that was the empire of Rome from 235 to 284 was getting overrun by people coming in through the border. It was porous, okay? And a so-called new sects, there was a lot of them, that you today call Christianity, was eating up the empire from the inside out. Just like America's getting eaten up inside out by extremist leftists and extremist rightists. Diocletian couldn't have an answer for that problem. He had united physically the empire, but he lost a lot of territory that they don't tell you in the history books. There was a time when Rome relied on conquest and plunder for its monetary and survival. That ended with Trajan in 102 AD when he conquered Dacia, a country today in Eastern Europe. You know it as Romania today. Well, as the 284, when Diocletian came into being, he had lost Dacia. It never came back into Roman control. And the Romans that were there, well, they became Romani. You know them today as gypsies. Romani. That's why it's Romania. Okay? And he lost Syria. But he had Palestine. He got that back under control. And therefore, today's problems that you have in that area is very much related to the AD 235 to 284, the crisis of the 3rd century. Oh boy, and you guys don't understand that. What watermelon heads are you guys, huh? And today, the crisis of the 21st century. You Americans are getting split down the middle by extremist rightists and extremist leftists. And you guys on the blue states and the red states are doing just what the Gallic Empire and the Palathian Empire and Hispania empires for a short time did under the Roman Empire. Broke away. If it wasn't for Emperor Claudius II and later on Diocletian, and Diocletian went on a rampage after that with the Christians from 285 to 306, he went on a binge of wiping out as many Christians as he could. Left and right. Can you imagine the Colosseum must have been having fun in those days, people, because Diocletian was determined to the empire of this pain in the neck cancer, Christianity. Do you understand me? It's the same as a pain in the neck cancer that you Americans have. Extremist leftists and extremist rightists and other people from other countries who you rely on, just like the Romans did for the rest of their empire. That didn't change, whether it was Claudius II, Diocletian, or Constantine. It never changed. You relied on these people from other conquered territories and barbarians that were coming in to run your empire. The United States is relying on a lot of people to run their day-to-day stuff. And look at the Congress, and look at who's running the Congress. You got people that are Muslim descent, Latin descent, Eastern European descent. They're running your Congress. But they don't understand what the root of what it is to be Americans under the Constitution is. Same with the Romans. They didn't understand what it was to be Roman. That just passed on. Didn't exist anymore. And 235 AD and afterwards, till its final destruction in 476 AD. When's the final destruction of the United States? Well, we still haven't finished with the crisis of the 21st century. You tell me. You guys are writing the history. I know the history. I know when you guys are going to be disintegrated and gone. And you guys never figured out why in my history. Why is that? You're supposed to be the top country in the world and the most advanced and supposedly most educated. Really? Oh boy. This is your favorite alien saying, boy, you guys got watermelons in your heads. Good day.